My husband,
hello people, Joe here.
asked me to make him 1 loaf of Belizean Creole Bun. Why? Because my sister brought Dutch cheese for us when she came back from her Belizean vacation. So he says, just 1 loaf. So let's get right into how we make this 1 loaf of Belizean Creole Bun. So this is a 1/4 cup of warm water from the faucet. I'm pouring it into this bowl along with the yeast and some of the sugar from the allotment of sugar. And I have this camera on the counter because I want to show you guys this. A time lapse of how the yeast activates or develops, all right? Pretty cool, right? All right, so we're gonna need sugar, a 1/4 cup plus 3 tablespoons. The flour is 2 cups plus 6 tablespoons. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of butter, and a teaspoon of vanilla, 3.5 ounces of coconut milk, and 1/2 cup of raisins, and that's optional, okay? So we're gonna start by adding all the flour to this big bowl. The only reason I have the stuff separated like this is because I wanted to show you guys that it's, you know, a 1/4 cup plus 3 tablespoons and so on and so on. So here comes the rest of the sugar. Remember that we used a tablespoon for the yeast, right? The raisins, so that I can scatter them around. And then the cinnamon, and other Belizeans will put other spices in this bun, but this is what I like, okay? Here comes the butter softened, and it's salted, so that's why I'm not putting any salt. Let me go ahead and add my vanilla. And a lot of people like to ask why I put baking powder in my bun. That's because my mom's aunt taught it to me this way, okay? So here's the yeast mixture. Work it around. And then I'm going to add the coconut milk, and it's only 3.5 ounces because coconut milk is high in fat, and you don't want to put too much fat in the bun because then it won't come out good. So add an extra 1 ounce or 2 ounces of water as needed to make the dough gather together like this. It's not hard, guys. You don't need one of those stand mixer thingies, okay? Set this aside. I'm going to go ahead and dump it on the countertop. Add more flour as needed. This feels good right here. I feel a lot of hydration in it, you know. It's not dry. It's soft and pliable. And you see what I'm doing for kneading, right? Just rocking back and forth. Now this gets annoying, so go ahead and get as much of the dough off of your hand. Wash your hands, dry them, and then come back to the dough, okay? Just continue to knead until it's smooth. How long? Until it's smooth. You know, being that I know what I'm doing, it takes 3-4 minutes. If you're new to this, it might take you as much as 8 minutes. Cover it up. 1 hour later, it's doubled in size. Dump it out. And we're gonna re-knead to release the air, okay? Discover the exotic flavors of Belize with the ultimate Belizean cookbook, the Belizean cookbook you need. Indulge your taste buds in a culinary journey through the heart of Central America. From succulent oxtails and rich, thick, creamy coconut milk stews to sizzling conch fritters and panades, this cookbook is a treasure trove of authentic Belizean recipes. Learn the secrets of Belizean cuisine passed down through generations, beautifully captured in this comprehensive guide. Impress your family and friends with unforgettable meals inspired by the rich cultural tapestry of Belize. Pick up a copy today at Amazon.com under my author's name, Barbara McNabb Greenidge. And I'm asking Joe if he wants this one to be round or rectangular. He said round. Look at this point of view. So smooth off the top like a dome, pinch the bottom shut, turn it over like this, flatten it out with the palm of your hand. My Aunt Eileen used to put a little dimple with the heel of her hand. And I'm going to grease this little tray right here, set it here, cover it up for another 45 minutes to an hour. It's ready. The oven is up to temperature at 325 because this has to bake slow and low. See you guys in 45 minutes. Here we go. I bet you're wondering where that second bun came from. Stay tuned because I'll tell you the story of that second bun, okay? Let me go ahead and brush some sugar and water while it's still warm. And let it cool completely before you cut it because the bread is continuing to cook while it's out the oven, okay? It's still trying to form. Cut it. Voila! So what you just saw was a highly edited tutorial on how to make one loaf of Belizean Creole bun. But what I want to do today, guys, is take you behind the scenes on how I make one of my cooking videos. Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, I'm Barbara. My mission in life is to teach people how to cook. I feel that if you know how to cook, it's going to change your wealth and your health. Your wealth because you're going to save money, and your health because you're going to be able to make nutritious meals. Welcome to the family. So I had 3 cameras going, 2 that I normally use, and 1 on the dinner table that was catching all the behind the scenes. So let's take a look at what's happening here. So first of all, I am mixing up my ingredients for the bun, right? And I keep going back and forth to the sink for more water, but I was thinking to myself, why do I need so much water when the book only calls for 1 to 2 ounces extra after I mix up the yeast mixture, right? So then Joe's asleep because he's having one of his headaches due to his sinus issues. So he's not there to show me what I'm doing wrong, because sometimes he'll pay attention and go, didn't you need this to be in the bowl, right? So I'm going back and forth, and I want you guys to take a look. The yeast mixture is sitting off here because I already did the thing with the camera to make it do the time lapse, right? So look at the moment when I realize that I didn't put the yeast mixture in. You guys, I'm so angry. I want to throw the dough away. No, I know that if I go add that yeast mixture in afterwards, it's not going to come out right, because I taught a class before online where a friend did this, forgot to put the yeast mixture in, and when she put it in, the bread overdeveloped and it was just a hot mess. So I know I can't do that. I was thinking maybe I could add dry yeast in, but the dough already kind of came together, right? So I know that's gonna feel grainy and stuff. So my next thought was to just throw it in the trash, right? But then I had a second thought that maybe I should set it aside and still bake it and see what happens, right? Because I know somebody's gonna ask. I mean, it has baking powder in it, so let's see what's gonna happen. So I'm starting all over. I have to wash all my little bowls because, you know, the eagle-eyed viewers are going to see that there's different bowls being used in this part of the picture. And people are going to ask, how is that a yellow bowl and now you have a white bowl, right? So I wash all my bowls. I'm measuring all my stuff again, measuring the raisins, and I start over again. And this is what you actually saw in the tutorial, this portion right here. You didn't see the mistake portion, all right? So normally I wouldn't even tell you guys there was a mistake. Just throw the thing away and start over. So I'm washing my hands here to get the dough off, because I always tell you guys to do that because that helps you a whole lot in kneading. See, the dough is sitting here. The bad one is sitting here. I still, at that point, didn't decide if I was gonna, like, you know, save it and bake it. I was thinking. So I always show you guys that I wash and dry my hands because it makes kneading a lot easier. See, I'm the one that has to go around and move my own cameras if Joshua and Joe are not available. Joshua's working in his room, and you saw Joe on the recliner just now. So that one's done and covered up, and this is, I'm telling you guys, I'm not gonna throw it, not gonna throw it away. I'm just gonna go ahead and re-knead it, cover it up, set it aside. So now right here, I'm asking Joe to film me. He's awake now, so I'm asking him to film me from this angle to show you guys the stand on the table, and then from this angle just to show, you know, another angle for the behind the scenes. So I'm covering up my little bun, set it aside, and then I'm gonna deal with this rock hard one. It feels stiff, guys. So I'm re-kneading. You know, what can you do when life gives you lemon? You make lemonades, right? Well, not lemonades, lemonade. I can't talk today. Yeah, so we're gonna re-knead this. I'm gonna find a tray to put it on, and I found a small tray. I'm gonna put some aluminum foil. I don't want to clean up any mess. Not even gonna grease it. Then put it here. See, this other camera caught it, right? The camera on the counter caught what I'm doing. And I'm going to set it over here because I definitely don't want to confuse it with my good bun. So both these buns have coconut milk and they have raisins. So now what I didn't tell you guys is that I'm going to make another loaf. Why? Because some people have asked me if they don't have coconut milk, can they use a different milk for the bun? So I'm going to use lactose milk on this one. So I'm greasing the loaf pan for this, and I'm dumping out my dough. But here I just want to show you guys that I did have to start over again. So this is a third time. All the same ingredients, right? And then in my little glass. Now, I messed with the camera earlier and I didn't get this thing correct. This, what do you call the thing? Time lapse. See? I put the seconds too short and the amount of shots too little, so I had to switch it back, and this is why you see the yeast, you know, develops really well, and it's in a different bowl. Shh, don't tell nobody why, okay? So now I'm just adding my lactose-free milk. If the dough gets a little bit too sticky, just go get some more flour to flour the countertop, all right? Put it in the bowl, cover it up for like an hour. And so all 3 buns are working together, and this is the bun that has the lactose-free milk and no raisins. Joshua doesn't know that there's a camera on behind him, so he's talking up a storm. He always comes in the middle of the day and talks to me about what's going on, asks me if I need help, if I need for him to do the dishes and stuff. He's really good at that behind-the-scenes type of stuff for me, okay? So now here's the good bun going in the oven, and I put it in the middle because that's where it should really cook, but I don't want to tell the viewers that I'm making another one. See? I'm making another one. So I baked these 2 first before I baked the Rockstone hard one, because I felt like that needed more time. I'm showing Joshua all my buns and stuff here, so you know, before I even start baking, you know, Joshua and Joe are making dinner. They're gonna do hamburgers today, and I need for them to do this because I'm hungry. So now I've cleaned up all their mess. A lot of cleanup goes on in between, and I'm dumping out this bun first. This is the one that has the lactose milk. Here's the one, the good one. Here's the good one that I'm actually making for you guys that you saw in the tutorial. And again, I move my cameras around so you can see different angles. And I'm gonna get this one off the tray and cut away to this camera. See, it's nice when you have a bunch of cameras because you can get a whole lot of different angles and shots. So what I do here with my buns, I put sugar and water on top, you know, when they're still warm. So I asked Joe to come and film for me so that he can get me cutting the bun. Now tell me why Joe stopped the camera and didn't know. And so when I told him to stop, he was actually starting to record, and I lost all that footage. So what did I have to do? The next day, which is today, Jory came by for a visit. He wanted a piece of bun. And I said, you won't have to wait, boy, because I'm gonna have to pretend like this bun is not cut yet, right? And I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut this bun to show you guys. So this is, let me show you this. See? The bun is already cut on the other side. We already ate a big piece of it, but y'all don't know this. In the tutorial, you didn't know this because I turn it on the other end and cut it. Now let me show you my 2 buns. The lactose-free one is the one that looks like a rectangle, right? It's soft, you know, I like it. But let's feel the coconut milk one. Ooh, this is way softer. It's more pillowy. Now this is the Rockstone one, hard. I don't know if this is gonna break out my teeth, but we're gonna cut it nevertheless. It didn't even want to get brown. Yeah, it's not worth it, guys. You could nibble around the edges, but it's not worth it. You're gonna damage your beautiful teeth, all right? So leave this one alone. If you mess up, throw it in the trash. Okay, so my computer is running hot. I gotta take it and hide it from the sun. Child, hold on, let me take this to Joe. I'm gonna have to remember that I can't record in the middle of the day when the sun is hot like this, because the computer was overheating just now when I was trying to like watch the movie with you guys and narrate over it, and now the camera feels like it's running hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. What do you think of this type of video? You guys know that forever I've been showing you little snippets behind the scenes, but not the whole thing, like the mistakes and stuff like that. I want to do more of these videos, so comment below if you like to see these type of videos. And I'm also going to pull that little tutorial from the front right out of this video and release it at some point on its own. So for the people who just want to see tutorials and they don't want to hear no jibber jabber, they'll be able to find that video on its own, right? So what do you think? Tell me. If you like what I've produced here today, go ahead and hit the like button because that helps a whole lot. And I look forward to your suggestions, all right? Take care. Oh my God, guys, I've been trying so hard to get out my little mission statement, and the people next door got a whole rooster. Why? This is not a farm area. They're not allowed to have a rooster. The people next door years ago had a goat. I don't know if they eventually killed it, but that goat was annoying. For the first 50 of my videos on the channel 12 years ago, you heard this goat screaming. Ah! Ah! People thought a woman was getting attacked. No, then people have a rooster. How am I going to come on here and tape my stuff?
This is the Bare Pantry Show.